This podcast is a part of the More Podcast Network.
That's a great insight. And the idea of a paradox is that there are choices, that either or is a possibility. There is a potential that we actually really over index into something. And I think that it's sometimes as leaders, it's about managing the tension, right? And having the grip strength to do that. But other times it's about going full bore, unapologetically, completely into one decision that it's like, whoa, 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 what about this over here? And the leader has the wisdom and the judgment to say, no, 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 this is not the time for that.
Oh, you're triggering a bunch of stuff. Right?
Yeah, well, let it rip. Let it rip. Don't let me darken our
No, that was I mean, right on. It really gets into how one uses their whiteboard time, their deep work time. It's like when you said that, I was thinking, yeah, how do I use my deep work time? Do I use it trying to validate what I want to see, or do I use it challenging what I'm looking at, challenging my beliefs about what I'm seeing, challenging what I'm feeling insecure about, challenging myself in a way that I'm willing to move into the new ground. And to your point, why I think vulnerability and just this whole idea of why it's so uncomfortable for us is because we don't know what's in the new ground, but we're dying to take new ground because we know what new ground's where the vision is. And so we're perpetually moving into new ground. And in new ground, there's new predators, there's new, potential traps, etc. And so, of course, we ought to have some intrepidation, which means which benefits one to be thoughtful, uh, curious, and confident. Like a lot of people don't seem to put those together. Like you can be curious and confident. In fact, in order to be effectively curious, you better be confident that no matter what happens, you can recover yourself. You're going to stand anyway, right? I'm going to do what it takes. And I've had people tell me, "Well, you're just so certain." And I said, "Well, I could be, or I could be confident that I'm going to go in this direction now after I've thought about it, and I'm confident that if I miss, I can recover, and I'll learn my way into it."
Is so interesting. The confidence in my ability to question what am I thinking, actually gives me more confidence in the answer that I'm going to come up with or the leadership and the direction that I'm going to take my team. If I'm confident enough to actually question, could I be seeing what could be missing and that I'm seeing? What could I not be seeing? Where could I be wrong? Now, I'm going to put this out there for the internet to hear, and I hope that this affects the 2028 election. This is my idea. I want elections. I want the debate before the election for the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate to have to argue the other side.
Right
I
on.
want them because that would actually illuminate
Let's include the independents.
and the independent. For me, it's hey, whoever can get in there and gets the votes. We shouldn't be excluded, and RFK Jr. We want all those people in there. But for me, I would I would feel like I would have a much better idea of the actual person that I'm voting for, and the way that they go about making decisions and thinking about policies, if they're able to tell me and articulate in a good way from the other side. Because what they've just told me is I have not just sat in my own shoes and my perspective about this certain situation, but I've considered all perspectives. And if I consider all perspectives and I still land where I land at the end of the day, fantastic.
Right on, right on. Yeah, and that I think the fear there is that I'm going to be persuaded, and I think I know that's for me. It comes up as like, well, I don't want to hear this opinion because I could be persuaded off of my position. But I mean, that's inevitably going to be most valuable. But in that moment, I don't necessarily always realize that that's where self awareness again is a weapon. I go, okay, I can still do this. Yeah. And if I'm aware of it, I can do something with it, right? I can choose how I relate to the fear.
Yes. Can you confidently question the way that you are thinking about something currently? about the way the world occurs to you. Can I question the way that I'm perceiving it? I even think about that with faith. Can I do that? I think a lot of times people consider that disowning your faith if you're going to question it. And I would say, no, it's strengthening it. You can strengthen it if you can sit on the other side and make those. What is it? The brothers Karamazov. Did I pronounce that right? That I just started that you gave us, a few weeks back.
You started reading it. You started reading
I
it.
started listening to it. Yeah, I got so far in, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take. I think the book on Audible, I put it at like 1.5 times speed. It's like 32 hours. So I'm getting there.
It's definitely a journey, but I mean, he's covering five really powerful questions about faith and living as a human.